Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I wanna go to bed. I had a little think about an hour ago, and it's gotten right to my head. Wherever I may roam, by land or sea or foam. Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I wanna go to bed. I had a little think about an hour ago, and it's gotten right to my head. Wherever I may roam, on land or sea or foam, you can always hear me singing. It's out of your ears. Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I wanna go to bed. I had a little think about an hour ago, and it's gotten right to my head. Wherever I may roam, by land or sea or foam.
Y'all know me. Now I earn a living. I'll cut this film for you, but it ain't gonna be easy. Bad stream. Not like going down to Live Leak for mashups and YouTube poops. This recut? Okay, enough of that bullshit. How's everyone doing? I worked on modifying that speech for way too long. God, so... Man, been doing this for like over 15 years now. Just for fun. I think it was like tail end of college. I was doing these. Then I accrued kind of a weird little following on here actually. But yeah, hi, it's me. WTM Recut or Robert Panico. Here and yeah, how's everyone doing on this fine Friday morning? Let's see. By the way, I'm loving just how freely and quickly people like work in the quotes from the movie, like into comments or even just right now. You guys are fantastic. But yeah, so this year was just 50th, and to be honest, it slipped my mind until about like a week before the actual 50th, and I was like, oh shit, I've had a recut kind of just like sitting on the side here, and all I had was just the whole bit with Quint couldn't open the can. I was like, all right, I gotta finish this in a couple of days for the 50th. And then as I was doing that, I was just like, I wonder if I should revisit some of these older ones and remaster them now that I have the Blu-ray rip. So that's what I've been working on, and I've gotten most of them down. I'm pretty much down to like, I think 2 left. I've got the last one I'll be doing is the Brody shooting rampage, which contains one of my personal favorite edits of the. He made me do it. Bam. So that'd be the last one I'll work on. But I think today I'm going to be working on one of my personal favorites, Hooper Bait. It's not too good, is it, Chief? Yeah, let me see if I can open this up here. There we go. So, yeah, this is what I This is what I work off of. And you know what? I just realized. Yeah, for whatever reason, the chat box is not showing up on screen. So let me just fix that real quick before I get into my edit. Where the hell is that thing? Yeah, so I it's funny, whenever I've streamed in the past, it's mostly been for my music. All right, let's see if that chat box works on screen. If not, whatever. But yeah, I gotta say before we dive into this remaster, I just want to say thanks for all the support and all the warm comments. Like, seriously, this started off as just a silly little hobby because like I am a professional editor, and this is just like my little fun that I used to do on weekends, especially when I was in college and grad school at the time. But seeing comments like, I know some people naturally go through tough times and stuff, and I can't remember who said this, but somebody, I think they had lost a family member and had come across one of my recuts and said that like that was the first time that they laughed in weeks. And it's like those little moments right there, like that's honestly, that's why I keep doing these. So if I can brighten your guys' day just like even a little bit, then goal achieved. But yeah, and oh yeah, I meant to mention just just a little bit about I just saw somebody change their name to Robert Panico's left saggy deflated breast. Solid. Yeah, just a little bit about me. I've been a professional editor for by professional I mean since I've been paid by companies to do stuff. It's been going on strong for probably since like 2005. So it's been roughly 20 years. But yeah, I live out here in LA. I've been out here for about 16 years, and currently working for Paramount / Nickelodeon of all places. Yeah, it's a ton of fun. But yeah, on the side, I cut all kinds of stuff. I compose music, and yeah, on weekends, if I can, I'll I'll do a Jaws recut here and there. But yeah, so I think I'll start diving into this one. So what I primarily cut on is Adobe Premiere. I feel like that's actually what I first started out on back in 2003. I learned how to do Adobe Premiere, and it was Pro 1.5, so it was the absolute dark ages. And now it's since grown to become one of my absolute favorites, and I still cut on this thing professionally and for fun. But yeah, I think we're gonna dive into the Hooper Bait recut, which has part of why this is so good to me is that you're not adding it. We're going to run raw source and don't do much. Yeah, that's the thing. I've actually, apart from the occasional mashup, all sound effects, all footage, everything, it just comes from Jaws, which I think is a real testament to the filmmakers. In particular, Verna Fields, the editor who won an Oscar for cutting this movie, and man, it's up there in my top 10 of just personal favorite movies, but also like best edited movies. Most will be actually, if I could just, before I get into this, if I can just share, say I have the whole movie on here. It's all in HD. But she has one of my favorite all-time singular cuts. It's during this scene, of course, Hooper, the I got no spit. I think this cutaway to Quint's reaction, like looking at Hooper with a newfound respect, is this hits so hard for me.
I got no spit.
That right there, that is just one of my all-time favorite edits, and Verna Fields, what an absolute legend. And it was actually a few years ago. I was where was I? I think it was on the Universal lot, and we're walking by a bunch of buildings. We're actually going through the sound stages, or the sound mixing stages, and we passed by the Verna Fields editing building, and I saw that and I got a little misty eyed because she's just an absolute freaking legend. Let's see. So the big picture, I have an idea for a new recut, but want to try it myself as a tribute to your incredible work. Do it. Use whatever editing program you can do. These are all for fun, and you actually, in a fun way, kind of learn a lot about the process of editing by just screwing around. But if you screw around with these films, they're going to blow up. Jack, now if you're gonna do Nobody Cares About Quint update, you gotta throw in the it's not a shark. Yeah, actually, I did think about that. I got a maybe it was you. I got a comment on that particular recut. I feel like I should actually attempt to throw that in there because just genius. Let's see. Make a request and a challenge. You can make a video of some of us Quint singing along with the kid playing his instrument. Yeah, I've actually thought about that. I've been trying to figure out like where I can possibly put that. I do have another Quint recut coming out, like a new one after I go through these remasters, and it directly involves Quint. I wonder if I can make that work actually, in the context of what I'm doing. I might. I don't want to give too much away because I do want it to be a bit of a surprise there. Let's see. Yeah, Flower Fog or Flower FOG. Hooper Bait's actually my favorite. Great. This is one of my top favorites. Particularly, it's the more subtle stuff, but I loved the idea when I was cutting this of just like cutting Hooper off mid-sentence and just dropping him straight in the ocean.
Okay, try to keep him off me until I...
Yeah. Man, it's funny when my little brother and I grew up. I saw Jaws maybe when I was like, probably when I was like 8. My dad showed it to me, and I was like, it's one of those movies you fall in love with instantly. And I started watching it repeatedly. Then my younger brother started watching with me, and both of us, funny enough, got a real kick out of Hooper. We thought he was hilarious. I think it's just it's Hooper's earnestness, especially in that he's trying to impress Quint constantly, and I think we picked up on that, and so that's why whenever I've made these Hooper cuts, that they are particularly hilarious to me. I'm just moving this around. Oh yeah, nothing's more hilarious than hearing Quint yelling "son of a bitch" at his lungs in anger. Yeah. I love Hooper's Drunk and Useless. Yeah, that's one of my top favorites as well. Let me see here. That one I have fully remastered already. A lot of these I've remastered. I've uploaded them already. They're scheduled to go out, and they're all coming out every Friday morning. I put it I think at like 5 in the morning Pacific time, just so the East Coast can get it at a decent hour. Yeah, Hooper's Drunk and Useless. One of my all-time favorites, especially
Chief,
this bit.
let's drop another chum marker.
Boys. Oh, boys.
Again, I learned from Verna Fields herself. Cutting away to people's reactions. That's what sells anything. Almost sounds like son of a fish. Let's see here. So let's get a little bit into it. So what I tend to do here, especially when I've done these remasters, because when I originally cut these, it was on Final Cut 7 because that's what I was using in college and early grad school before I officially made the switch over to Premiere. I started in Premiere, then I got into FCP, and then eventually went right back to Adobe. And yeah, Hooper's Boating Rampage. That one I actually just recently finished the remaster of. So this one's This one's ready to go, ready to upload.
I'm coming around again!
Who about you, idiot?
Yeah. Just not to, yeah. The Hooper cuts are the ones that absolutely kill me. I have a lot of fun with those. And that's why this one, yeah, Hooper Bait, one of my favorites. So, yeah, so because Sparkstron, Orca Maintenance Mayhem is my favorite. Yeah, that is also my my personal fave out of all of them. I love them all equally for different reasons, but that one, I was in some sort of a mental state where I was like, I'm gonna go just full. The idea was just to get the smoke and Quint going, but then this whole, as I'm cutting it, this whole story of just Quint abusing his crew leading to that just kind of like evolved out of that one moment. So it's kind of amazing what these what you can do with when you start these recuts. But yeah, so what I was saying is because I started cutting on Final Cut 7, translating that over to Adobe Premiere is a bit of a tricky business. Things don't quite line up correctly. And I was working off of, stupidly, when I was first cutting these, I was working off of like smaller clips, not the full movie. So, in doing these remasters, I've had to go shot to shot and just line them up to restore them, but it's a bit of a painstaking process, but at the same time, it's kind of been fun to relive the editing process in a way, because it's been so many years. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cheat a tiny bit and just apply a cut at every, with the scene detector, it's going to apply a cut. That way I can at least get the lengths of the shots correctly for this restoration process. So now I got like an edit point at every cut here, which makes it a lot easier. So, Hooper's Brody Massacre inspired me for a video on your channel involving Brody going psychotic somehow. Yeah, I did make a shooting rampage with them, exactly. I think he's gone onto the boat. Yeah. So I think I'll begin. Hooper's climbing in. So we'll begin there. So I know a lot of the action is going to be centered around Hooper in the cage. So I'm going to do is bring all this footage closer to my timeline. Okay. All right, so we'll start here. I think we'll go all the way to there. I think that's probably a good stopping point. There we go. So let's just see where this. Okay, so I clearly didn't cut as the movie has it. Hooper's head's already down, so I got to figure out how to cut. Okay. So this has been the tricky part with remastering these, is I have to figure out like the timing of some of these cuts, and like, is there an AI plugin that can do this or something? Yeah, probably, but I get a little more satisfaction out of doing it manually. So we got there's a cut point here, actually a sync point. Hooper's hand touching the cage right there. That's a good indicator of where my shot should be. So let's find that. Right there. There it is. So this is basically how I remaster these things lately. So all these videos, well, you can even see, like, I got the aspect ratio wrong when I first edited this. God, how many years ago was this? This is probably 2011? 2012 or something? God. So Jackknife, is Brody gonna end up drunk and useless too? What do you think? Again, I got ideas in the hopper. I had a whole list of things, including, oh god, this is so stupid. I literally had a dream a few years ago about a recut. Of course, it wasn't a substantial recut, but it was like the sparking of an idea. And like in my half awake state, I like, wrote it down. I was like, oh, this is. And it came from the line where Quint just goes, "Hoopy idiot, starboard! Ain't you watching it?" And for some reason in my dream, he says, "Star Wars, ain't you watching it?" And I just cut to Hooper like watching Star Wars on TV and just like reacted to it. It's the dumbest idea, but then I'm thinking like, is that something that I could actually like manipulate enough and make? Probably not, but I don't know where the hell these ideas come from sometimes. They're bizarre. Let's see here. So I think I'm off by one frame. There we go.
Fast enough.
Okay, great. Let's skip the first shot for now, but yeah, so because I want to get to this. If you try using other Jaws movies, yeah, actually, I have considered, especially Jaws 2, just because you have, it's the closest to the first one. Screw around with these edits; they're gonna blow up. I mean, one of them has over 1 million. The Nobody Cares About Quint has 1 million views. That one blew up. That tank blew up. But yes, Alley Cat, I have thought about using footage from Jaws 2, and I've seen other recutters on there do that. Somebody used the line, Brody's line from Jaws 2, where he's like, I know what a shark looks like because I've seen one up close. Like, I tell you, I don't intend to go through that hell again. Somebody used that in an edit. I thought it was pretty clever, to be honest. It kind of worked. If I were to do another movie, what would it be? So I actually, funny enough, I do have another recut channel where I've done a whole bunch of other movies. Let me pull that one up. So it's actually, that's the channel that I started out with. Instead of RecutWTM, it was WTM Recut. Just pull out on screen here. So this one. So this is, please subscribe to this channel because I do other movies on here. A lot of it's mostly mashups, like I combine movies, but I've actually I've edited a lot of Aliens, and I thought about having doing more of this, but like for instance, I had this really silly idea. This is so silly.
You bitch! Come on! Come on! Come on!
Bay 12, please.
Yeah, so I've been doing this with a lot of properties. Most recently, I moved on to Predator, where it came out of a meme that somebody made, just an image meme where they're like, what do you see out there? And there's something in those trees, and it was Ewoks. So I went and just made a whole like series of scenes. Yeah, so go and subscribe to that channel. So that's it's just the inverse of my username. It's WTM Recut. It ain't no man. And most recently, so actually with Paramount, I was doing a lot of promotional work for the new Mission Impossible movie, and I was tasked to recut Mission Impossible into the series of these trailers, like sort of like recap trailers to kind of get people caught up. Then I saw Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning, and basically half the movie is a recap trailer in and of itself, and I was like, what did I do all this work for? But out of that was born a very silly idea that I had years ago. Don't ask where this came from.
Talk to me, Benji.
Nothing yet. Stand by.
I know you're here.
I had this idea with the opera house scene, and for some reason, in my brain, I went straight to this scene from Home Alone 2, where he takes aim at Buzz. Anyway, again, very silly, but yeah, if you haven't yet, this is why I have a 1 in the icon, and why the Jaws Recuts has a 2. The reason they're on multiple channels is because my Jaws Recuts were constantly being taken down off of this original channel, and I had to split them in 2 because I didn't want this one to go down. And now it's kind of been nice. It's taken on a life of its own. So yeah, be sure to subscribe to both. Also, I needed to mention as well that I am by far not the only one who has done these, and one of my recuts I did, I've credited. It was an inspiration of this guy who's changed his name a bunch. I believe his name's Gary, but his username was Zool7227, and he done a whole bunch of mashups and recuts of Jaws that are just absolutely insane. I also need to drop in this guy. This person, Lawrence4566, whoever they are, is in my mind. This is the OG. This is the original person who started doing these Jaws mashups like as early as like 2008. These are 17 years ago, and this is honestly what inspired me. I saw this guy's work, and I was like, I got to get in on this. I'll just play like one of his. This is like his first one. So when was this? 17 years ago, February 8th, 2008. So I am by far not the first. I've just done a whole bunch of them, and I've kept at it for so long. But this is. I'll just play this 30 seconds. You'll see like exactly how my stuff was inspired.
Chief, put your gloves on. You put your gloves on, both of you.
It's not a shark.
Impossible! It's impossible! Make it fast! We got another line! The kid's trying to run! Oh! Too bad, idiot!
So like you see like the manipulation of footage. I mean, it's just it's brilliant, and yeah, for me, like let me bring up the channel again, because you should definitely check this guy's work out. Lawrence4566. You know what I might do actually in the because this live video, I'll keep it up. I'll put it in the description, all these channel links. But this dude's OG, and Zool's work. He's had his channel taken down so many times, but I believe it was Grant Brown Dog saved a lot of his work, and put it on the channel. So, see, it's amazing honor to finally see the face behind was amazing, and thank you for all your amazing work. Oh, thank you, Alicat. Yeah, honestly, like I said, just brightening people's days, is, it's the reason I'm in the entertainment industry to begin with. Like, I just, life is cruel, hard, and awful, and if even one little video can brighten your day, make you laugh, whatever, like, for me, it's just it's worth all the hard work and stuff, and this is purely extracurricular for me. I don't get paid to do these things. This is just fun. I get paid to edit other stuff. So even when I have time off, I'm still editing. I'm a little addicted. Godding. Oh, I horribly butchered that word. Glad to see you get a love recognition deserve, and thank you so much. again, for all the people who've subscribed either in from the beginning or even more recently, like I love you guys. Like it's great to have an audience and an audience of Jaws fans who are like, I think, a special breed of fandom. I mean, this movie just has a staying power unlike most, and it's memeable, it's quotable, it's timeless. It's one of those movies it's impossible to grow tired of. I think that's, doing these, yeah, I guess you could consider it fan art, in a way, like, not to sound too, high up there, but like, this is like part of us fans giving, showering praise on the movie, by having fun with our favorite property here. And I'm glad people are picking up on, even the little things, that I've tossed in here, like little jokes. Like there's one, it's the one from, I know what it is, the one from Huber's Junk and Useless. My favorite, probably my personal favorite edit that I've made in one of his recuts, this one.
Keep it steady now. I got something very big.
It's not a shark.
Just Quint backslapping Hooper in that, yeah, like I don't know. I made that. I laughed when I was cutting it. I was just like, okay. And then seeing people specifically point out that moment, I was just like, okay. I'm glad that joke is working. Glad people are understand like that edit. Okay. So back to the remaster. So I think right as the regulator is in this position, that would be a good cut point here. Okay, try and keep him off him until I'm... actually, the cage coming down would probably be a better cut point, but let's see. So right here. Now let's see if that matches. It's kind of hard to tell with the aspect ratio being so bad, but... See...
Okay, try to keep him off me until I'm...
Not a shark. Esoteric Veritas. That's a great username. Let's see. Now I got the okay, so to restore this, probably by the point his let's do this thing when this object up here starts to fall. I think that'll be a good cut point. By the way, even when I'm cutting these, like, I'm in awe of this movie, and in particular Robert Shaw. Like this performance has aged like fine wine. Red or white, I didn't know you'd be serving. But like, what an absolute legendary performance. The older I get, the more I appreciate how he's just added so much nuance to this character, and especially if you've read the books, seen the documentaries, just how like a lot of this is just Robert Shaw coming up with it, even down to the saltine crackers. Genius performance, absolutely snubbed by the Oscars, deserved a nomination at the very least. Criminal.
Okay, try to keep him off me until I'm...
Okay, good. And actually, that leads into this shot. Exactly. All right, great. There's a way you can show Quint punching Hooper, and Hooper falls in the cage and close. That may be possible. How would you do that? It would probably be something like I'll have to simmer on that idea. That is a funny idea though. he was 46 when he played Quint, though he was in his late 50s. Yeah, and the character, if I've been really getting into this podcast, the Jaws Obsession, and that's the guy who wrote basically like a fanfic book called The Book of Quint. Pull this up actually. Yeah, this podcast. If you haven't listened to it, it is the deepest dive into the movie and the lore. I mean, this guy, I don't know how he does it, but he actually, through dialogue, figured out that Quint is roughly 56 years old. And it's like, he did that not only with the Indianapolis speech, but also him talking about, when I was a boy, every squirt wanted to be a harpooner or a sword fisherman. And he's like, aha, harpooners. Harpooners are go after whales. The whaling industry in Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, whatever, that stopped like around this period. So he would have been a boy here, and then somehow narrowed it down to this man is 56 in the story. It's like real detective work in a podcast. Incredible stuff. But yeah, I also thought that Robert Shaw was like mid 50s, but I think I love a good drink, but I think when you go as hard as he does, it definitely ages you a bit more. Legendary actor. Thought about mixing clips from other Jaws movies. Yes, actually, I answered this one earlier. I haven't gotten to a cut where I've needed it yet. But I've seen other recutters do it. It's a great effect, actually. Let's see. So I'm gonna restore this shot. So this is a great cut point right here. Right when the studio light hits his goggles, that is a perfect spot to drop my shot. He's in the water. I mean, it helps that I have this movie basically memorized. Right there. There's our reflection. And it's funny, for a while there, I actually thought about if a film studio was ever needed people to do restorations, I would absolutely volunteer to be a part of a restoration team. I feel like it would be a lot of fun. There we go. Hank Heavy, thanks for all the videos. This has made me laugh for years. I'm really happy to hear that. It's the reason I do it. For my own amusement, obviously, because I love Jaws so much, but like seeing the reactions has kept me from it's kept me going. I think originally I made those first two. There were only I think the what was the first one? Hooper's fatal domino effect is only 30 seconds. That was what I did on a lark just for fun. Then I did the second one, the Orchid Crew kills each other, and that's only a minute long. And I was gonna leave it at that, to be honest. But then I started seeing these incredible comments come flooding, and I was like, I got to do more of these. And surprisingly, I've done over 12, and I still got more. I could probably do as many as 20, to be totally honest. And who knows, the way these ideas come about, sometimes it's mid-edit an idea will come up. Sometimes I literally have dreamt up ideas. Other times, some people have suggested stuff, or I've been inspired by somebody else's work, and I'm like, oh, I want to take that and yes and it. Great example of that actually is the Hooper autopsy, Hooper's half-ass autopsy. So I credited her, but yeah, shout out to Beetle Girl 1977. Again, no idea if you're even here, or if you're still online, still making videos, but she did a bunch of Jaws recuts many years ago, and she did one with Hooper just laughing during the autopsy scene, and I thought it was so clever, and it was I want to get in on this. I want to expand it even more and actually give it a bit of a life, so that they're looking specifically at Quint's body. So immediately, yeah, I have him die. Actually, one of my favorite.
Son of a bitch!
Yeah. Any way to work in that son of a bitch? And then to this.
Well, let's show Mr. Hooper our accident.
Let's show him our accident.
The height and weight of the victim can only be estimated from the partial remains. What is it? Excuse me.
Excuse me. Again, Hooper being my favorite character to lampoon in these cuts. Exactly, flower fog.
It's not a boat accident. It was Jack the Ripper.
It was Jack the Ripper. Yeah, so this is an example of a recut that I did, but it was entirely inspired by another recutter because it was just like the idea was brilliant and the execution was fine, but I was like I wanted to expand it and just like add a joke here or two. It was too good. But whenever I do something like that, I give all credit where it's due. And this one, yeah, Beetle Girl, whoever you are, incredible work. I did a couple like that with Zool 7227 as well. Let's see. Yeah, probably here where the fin is lined up with the board. That's what I'm visually looking for. Let's see. So that would be over here. Yep. Actually, I got a question for the group here because well, first of all, I'm running a nice poll just based on the recuts, but for the movie itself, I'm curious, what's everybody's favorite scene? Because it's so hard to pick. I have my favorite edit, which I mentioned earlier, the cutaway to Quint after I've got no spit. My personal favorite, it's like, I mean, I can't. Man, I want to say it's the entire nighttime sequence that includes the Indianapolis speech and stuff. But I think just specifically, the scars comparison is just like, it never fails to get a smile on my face, and just like these characters are so real and just so full of life. It's like, God, we need to bring stuff like that back. Movies need to be able to breathe and just take a moment and have characters just be the characters. I don't know. The state of film and TV these days, that's a whole other discussion. Let's see. Potato says, you're seriously the reason I've said Jesus H. Christ and son of a bitch whenever things go mildly wrong for the last 10 years thanks to the laughs. You're welcome. Gotta credit that to Robert Shaw, though. Not with 3 barrels, he can't. Beardson, probably when Brody sees the shark for the first time. Dude, that... it's probably the most... Out of a movie filled with iconic shots, I think that shot of Brody just... that shot alone, oh my God. That's right here. Yeah. Yeah, again, never fails to just absolutely get just a fantastic reaction. When Quint's line steps, you hear Hooper laughing at him, and you see Quint get angry. So I see what you did, Alley Cat. Let's see. I gotta do this shot here. So right where the fin lines up with the boat, perfect. That's where I need to grab my HD shot and put it in. Right there. There we go.
Coming.
The shark music is so prominent in that scene. Man, by the way, years ago, God, I think it was like 2017 at the Hollywood Bowl. They did Jaws live in concert. They played the full movie, and they had the full orchestra there. And like, I tell you what, when you're seeing that live, you really feel the sense of just the long silences and just John Williams holding back, and it's like, it's his scoring is just chef's kiss. He's the greatest of all time. Like nobody comes close. You know, Hans, Bobby, I love you, but like you're not Johnny. You'll never be Johnny. Yes, exactly. My left saggy deflated breast. The cigarette never leaves Brody's mouth, which is such a great detail. The scene of Brody and his son copying him. Again, another one of those scenes that happened while shooting. Just the boy was doing that, and Spielberg had the sensibility to just like do that, add that to the scene. It adds character, it adds atmosphere. It's just it's fantastic. When Hooper's frantically blowing bubbles and screaming underwater, I was woo! I think as a kid watching this movie, going into like your friend's pool, whatever, just pretending to be in the movie. I've done that several times. Just whoa! I'm sure we all have. Okay. This shot's going to be a little hard to line up. Although his hand starts to move right there, so maybe that's... that's probably... I did not make this easy for myself. I'm going to cut these things together. Okay, here's the shot, So right there. There it is. There's your cut point. Let's go back to that shot. So right as the hand starts to move, right there, I think that's the... Yep. Man. You get that wide... I love this shot of the shark, and just knowing that they actually use the crow's nest to shoot a lot of... Actually, I just learned a fun fact about the filming of this movie. This scene, I was going to describe it, but I'm like, why am I describing it? I got the effing movie right here. This shot. God, I can't believe I just clicked on it on the first try. They used the orca crow's nest to get this high angle shot. Reportedly, I just thought that was cool that they actually used the boat as a piece of camera equipment, because it's just, I mean, it's a perfect tool for that. This shot, which is for me, this is the scariest shot in the whole film. It's too real, and actually it makes me it gets under my skin every time I see it. It's just so good. When the real before goes click that whole sequence. Oh yeah, the fishing sequence. That is a great choice for favorite scene. Yeah, just like the suspense buildup of, again, Quint's performance. Great scene. So let's see. We have what do we got here? So we need that high shot of the shark, which is... Oh, funny, I landed on this shot. I always wanted to point this out, actually. Nobody ever talks about this shot. Are those not, like, shark teeth in the broken glass? Like, this movie's incredible. There's so many... It's just filled with so many fun little details. God, I love this movie so much. Let's see. So it's it's this moment after he nudges the boat. This is gonna be really hard to synchronize. I'm gonna have to look at the patterns in the water there. Is there anybody on the boat that I could... there it is. Right as that object here disappears. That'll be my sync point. Right there. Yeah, buddy. That... That's it. Now we got a little sequence here, all synchronized in HD. And eventually, I'm gonna have to go through this and restore a lot of the sound, because I will say one thing that I was a little sloppy on, especially in my early recuts, was the I had a lot of like hard cuts in the sound, and now I can actually I've become super nerdy with sound design. So now I try to like add little fades and stuff, and even try to filter out music or some other like errant sounds, and just try to make it a little more of a seamless thing. Because I'm telling you, the real secret to editing is having smooth sound, because then you don't notice the cuts. Where'd it go now? Oh, he ain't fooling me. What's he yanking on now? Go on, try it. Another great performance moment here from Mr. Robert Shaw. So I'll probably do it right when maybe when his hair passes right in front of that line there. Whenever I could you play it again? I'll play the restored HD sequence again, or Flower Fog. Actually, that would be closer to like right here. So very cool. They did a backstory on Quinn as a movie, like a younger Quinn on the Indianapolis, the sort of dread of watching his crewmates slowly disappearing. So, Alley Cat, there is a book that was released very recently. It's called The Book of Quint. I haven't read it just yet, but from what I've heard, it begins with the Indianapolis, and then the book follows a young Quint as he then moves to Amity and starts to develop his sharking techniques, and it all works into the lore that's been presented by the movie. So, like, it's not, you can get it on. I think you can get it a physical copy, though they may have been limited. But it's on Audible, which is where I got it. So I feel like, yeah, if you want to get into it, apparently the Book of Quint, it's a lot of fun from what I've heard, and I can't wait to dive into it. But I only recently heard about this. I'm excited to dive into it because I feel like this is such a rich character. So yeah, it's called, look it up, called the Book of Quint. A lot of Jaws fans have gotten into it recently. I got you, Flower Fog. So here, let's start right here.
Okay, try to keep them off me until I'm...
Coming.
See, I got a little surprise frame there, but that's okay. We can adjust. I mean, it's a little hard to hear, but I gotta redo all the sound design, because this background sound of just the water, you can actually hear Quint chugging his beer. Here, let me just boost that real quick. Yeah, not the best sound effect to use. I'll restore that with a proper water sounds for the movie. Let's see. So this is Hooper waiting. I think I just used the probably just the head of that shot when I was cutting this. So it's this one right here. By the way, legit, this scene, Hooper getting in, being lowered in, and just like waiting for the shark. I don't care how many times I've seen it. Like, my heart rate is up because this is just such a claustrophobic setup. Still effective. This movie still got legs. Okay, looks like I may have gone in one frame instead. Maybe two. Let's try that. Aha. There it is. This shot of Brody. One case of apricot brandy. Actually, I don't know if anybody else. Again, this is such a dumb joke with Hooper's drunk and useless.
Hey, Hoop.
1 case of apricot brandy.
Initially, I wasn't sure what shot to use over that line of 1 case of apricot brandy, but then him holding an actual case and not like an alcohol meaning case, but like an actual case. I don't know. I just thought that was so stupid. It was funny. It's a literal case of alcohol. Stupid shit like that cracks me up. I love the shot of Brody after the 3 barrels have gone down. Again, movie taking its time, just taking an eerie silence. Actually, that's after it beats the it's in the end section of this scene. There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I used that full shot there before it pans down to Hooper. I put it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just used the head of that because he starts to look down exactly. Which again, when it comes to these kind of edits, reaction shots and eye lines, look where their head's turning. Like you can create reactions out of people. So we have Brody looking down, and we cut to Quint below, like looking at the shark in the distance.
Jesus H. Christ.
Yeah, any little bit there to help sell these interactions. This is right before the great shark chase. Yeah, hook me up another barrel. I think he's come back for his noon feeding. I say that with my cat. Whenever she's meowing, I'm like, I think she's come back for her noon feeding. Right there is probably it. Wherever the hand crosses the horizon.
Me up another barrel.
Exactly, Firefog. Yeah, finding elements within one material that can be combined into different ways seamlessly. It's a challenge. Again, with something as well shot and as well cut as Jaws, it's like there's plenty of opportunity.
Jesus H. Christ.
Get down here.
Again, just a misplaced line. That comes from if you don't want to backstroke home, you get down here. And I just clipped out the "get down here" and applied it to him pointing, saying, "Hook me up another barrel." Little things like that. It helps. And then I kind of in the audio here, I just kind of had Quint sort of like teaching Brody like as he's as they're about to rope in Hooper and start stabbing him.
Come on, Chief. This isn't no Boy Scout picnic.
See what I do, Chief, is I haul them up like a lot of catfish, and I jab at them.
I will say again, I think it's the audio quality. I've considered, after This Isn't No Boy Scout Picnic, I considered adding one more shot of Hooper underwater, just to kind of break it up, and like still TBD if I'm gonna stick with that because I'm trying to maintain as best I can my original cuts. I've added or I've swapped a couple of shots and adjusted some of the audio, but I'm trying to maintain what I did. So TBD if I want to actually add that shot of Hooper. I just think if it really helps make this line flow a little better, then I'll do it. Otherwise, it's okay. I'll just live with the different energy of the line. Okay, we got Brody coming down the ladder here. Start the engine. Actually, got another question for the group. Because I've reused a lot of shots before. Like, I think I know the answer, but what does everybody think? What is the one shot that I've probably utilized the most? In all these recuts, like I'm 99% sure of what the answer is, but I'm curious if anybody else has picked up on it.
Come on, Chief. This isn't no Boy Scout picnic.
Okay, so that's from the Game and Fish, eh? Marlin, Stingray, eighth of this piano wire. Let's get right as that hole enters the shot. The little round window on the side. You don't get it right, score it, or throw your ass out a little round window on the side. That's good, right there. Exactly, Sparkstrong got it. Yep, yeah, falling like exactly. Yeah, everyone's got Hooper falling over. That shot is just the gift that keeps on giving. Like depending on what comes before it, again, like he could either be falling while sliding down the wire, he could be hit by Quinn, he could be tripping on his own shoelaces. It's again, it all comes from what shot or sound effect comes right before that. My favorite being the one that I just released. Again, a restored sound effect. But this moment.
Move it.
I had to add that ding in there. That not that one. Where is it? Yeah, that's from Brody like touching the tanks as they started to budge. Just added that with a boom from the shark hitting the side of the boat. Again, Quinn's laugh it really sells that.
Move it.
One of my personal favorite cuts. And that's a shot that I used to start of. You can actually see the edit tape at the top there, which they removed for the Blu-ray. Yeah, it's the rig something. Got it. Right there. Yeah, see when they restored this movie, they went back to the negatives, and I think for the DVD, they scanned the edited like master reel. So there's actually you can actually see at the top or bottom of the frame little like the tape that they used to cut the shots. And for the restored version, they've removed it. And here I'll do a direct comparison so you can see what I'm talking about. But I find that fascinating. So this is the Blu-ray version. You see the top of the frame; it's very clean. But in the DVD version, you can actually see like that blurry line. That's tape. That's the actual literal tape that they use to splice between the shots. And yeah, for the restored version, they scanned each raw bit and removed that tape, which I love. Just makes a really clean edit.
Picnic. See what I do, Chief, is I haul them up like a lot of catfish, and I jab at them.
I think I didn't even touch
Jab at them.
Yeah, some of this stuff actually I didn't even touch in the edit. I just let it go. Until we get to Hooper coming up.
Slow now. Slower.
In this shot. Now this is clever. The magic of doing edits to this movie is that half the movie is three guys on a boat, and you can literally cut 1,000 different ways. I agree, Potato. In fact, I don't think it's controversial at all to say that when they head out to sea, that's when the real movie truly begins. The first is a classic, B horror movie, but the three guys on the boat, dude, it's where this movie becomes just legendary. Just the absolute best. So this is a tricky shot right here. I literally just reversed the shot of Hooper going down. And funny enough, actually, it may be because of the bad video quality in this original cut, but that really sells to me. But we're gonna find out here. Does this work in HD? I don't know yet. So we're gonna Opa, reverse her. So let's see here. I'm gonna have to reverse this shot. First, let me get the length correct, and then we're gonna change the speed to reverse.
Slower.
You know what? I can't believe that actually worked.
Slower.
It helps that his hair is a little matted. It looks wet already.
Slower.
Wow. I'm very happy with that, actually. I was worried that in the HD version, it may look a little dodgy. But actually, worked out really well, I gotta say. Tell you the truth, I'm stunned. No.
No.
Again. No. Brody, mild-mannered Brody being like violent towards his crew or to the kids in the ocean. God, that's like just going so hard against their characters is just so much fun to edit. It's so absurd. Okay, so we all know what this shot is from, obviously. Here. Okay. Let's see. And there's yeah, this where like the close up of him stabbing. Okay, great. Where he's one thing I always wanted to say, the difference between the original audio track, like the original stereo mix of this movie that was released in theaters in the 70s, and then the like newer sound effects mix. Whenever I rewatch Jaws, I always put on the original mix just because that's what I grew up with on VHS. But with these recuts, I use the newer ones because the sounds are a little more isolated and gives me a little more latitude to edit the sound. But in this shot, in the original mix, you can hear the wood starting to splinter from the harpoon. I always like that detail, that like it's breaking off in his hands, and for some reason they removed it in the newer mix, and that has baffled me. With this shot of Brody. And then he loses. Okay. Oh, but another small little thing that always cracks me up, that Brody's like, "Dah!" sound. Okay, how many people have seen The French Connection? Because Roy Scheider is also in that movie. Let me find it. It's the Santa Claus scene from The French Connection. Roy 8.5. Fucking ads. Roy Scheider is in this movie, and he gets cut with a knife in this opening scene, and he literally makes the exact same like grunting pain sound, and I always noticed it. See, I'm trying to get through these damn ads. By the way, if people have not seen The French Connection, it is one of my all-time favorite movies. Just a truly hardcore 70s crime drama.
Freeze! Jimmy, watch it. He's got a knife. Cloudy, watch it.
Yeah, is that not the same? Like,
Cloudy, watch it.
Anyway, something stupid that I always noticed, and it always cracked me up. R.I.P. Roy Scheider's another just legendary actor. if people like Roy Scheider, you want to see a really fucking awesome movie, watch Sorcerer. It's a remake of the French film The Wages of Fear. It's basically about these guys who volunteer to take this extremely explosive material in these trucks through the jungle, and it's just the whole movie is just you're tense the entire time because any little bump and these things go off. It's a really, really awesome movie. Let's see. What are your thoughts of a possible remake of Jaws? Singing maybe a new company like Blumhouse. My whole philosophy about remakes is that there should be a new reason for making a new element. Like, for instance, The Fly, one of the greatest remakes ever. It kind of becomes this parable about a lot of people thought it was about AIDS, and you could read it that way, but I believe it's about cancer. Because I think Cronenberg lost his, again, I could be completely wrong about this, but I think Cronenberg had lost his father. It's like a slow death of cancer, and in a way, this film is him like working out the trauma of watching somebody slowly decay. So the reason for that remake was there. The Thing, another one of the greatest remakes of all time. The original Thing from Another World is a great suspense sci-fi film. But it's it turns out to be just kind of like a giant monster. What Carpenter does is he makes it all about paranoia, and that's why it has one of the greatest movie endings of all time, where it's the most open-ended. I don't think it's that open. I think it's clear that they're both spoilers. I think both of them are not the Thing. I think that they die being paranoid of one another. Like, it's such a bleak ending. It's great. So I think if you're gonna do a remake, the reason should be because you can take something and add a whole new angle or symbolic element to it. And I feel like Jaws fulfills its own goal and then some. So there's no reason to make a remake. But there's plenty of other properties out there that had great ideas, didn't quite hit the mark, and they deserve to be remade. Off the top of my head, actually, this is a remake I've always wanted to see, because I mean, there's been several versions of this, but I feel like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is ripe for a modern day remake, and I think, given the time period that the story takes place in, I feel like you could still set it in that time period, and I think you make it about the symbolism I always got from the book, and the various movies about it is like it's a time period of great change. This boat is ahead of its time, and Captain Nemo is like almost in a way living in the future, and the world hasn't quite caught up to him. He goes too far in his own trauma. So I feel like if you're gonna do a remake, it's like, do something that either hasn't tapped its full potential or was made and it just was so off the mark that it deserves another go. I mean, that's how I've always felt about remakes. So for Jaws, no, it's untouchable. Don't touch it. It does not deserve a remake, at the very least. But yeah, you can't replace the characters. I agree. The Disney cut, the French Connection. Oh, yeah, okay. So when it comes to censorship, so I'll say this much about French Connection, because there is a point to Popeye Doyle's racism in that movie, and reportedly, what I read with the making of the film is that he says something terribly racist, and the African American audience loved that moment. I wouldn't say loved, but I mean, they were proud that the movie didn't hold back in showing a detective as being a racist piece of shit, and they applauded it for being real for once. It didn't sugarcoat police forces or detectives. It didn't glamorize it. It showed it as a raw, dirty job with very imperfect people at the helm. I feel like when it comes to censorship, it's like just, you should know if you're getting into a movie made in the 70s, about, crime and, drug deals. Like, there's going to be some rough stuff in there. I'm very against censorship. And if you're showing something to a younger audience, like kids or whatever, I feel like it's your duty as a parent or the person exhibiting it to be like, hey, just FYI, this was a product of its time. I don't know, but I'm almost 40. I grew up with a lot of, movies that, had problematic stuff. And I knew that they were wrong. It didn't convince me that this stuff was right. So I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, Disney Cut of French Connection. It's, just leave that movie alone. It's set out to create a realistic environment and didn't hold back on controversy because that was the name of the game with the New York police at that time. Probably still is. I don't know. I there's no reason to censor that, I don't think. But anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. Crazy that John Carpenter isn't actually a carpenter. I mean, like of the Carpenter's bands, or like a physical carpenter? Because like, I'm sure he's built a table in his life. I think John Carpenter is possibly literally a carpenter. Sorry, I'm gonna get back into these. Brody stabbing poor Hoop. Hey, Hoop. Let's see. Okay, so I was smart enough to cut these on the actual shots. Martin, god damn it. Again, working in these little Hooper lines out of context and just adding a little muffle to the voice. Oh yeah, like when I cut this film up, it's purely for fun. But I'm one of those people that like, the Star Wars theatrical cuts should be in 4K by now. It's ridiculous that the bastardized version has been put out to the masses. In fact, when I was dating my wife, I showed her when I showed her Star Wars, because she comes from another country. She never grew up with it. I had like the despecialized editions. I made sure to show her those versions so that she got like the purest thing. And you know what's funny? The old special effects in moments didn't bother her at all. She knew it was the 70s, and it worked. And Han gets to shoot before Greedo makes a move, which a moment, by the way, unprompted, she loved. And that's when I decided to buy a ring. No. All right, let's see here. So they got this. There's this shot of. Oh yeah, I'm gonna need this shot. Turn around. Definitely gonna need that. I'm gonna need a shot of. Yes, the spear falling on the ground. Yeah, McClunky. Who in their right mind thought that was like, let's mess with this even more? Unless the whole point of McClunky and Star Wars was just get people talking so that they would watch it and bump those streaming numbers up. That's my tinfoil hat. I think Disney did that on purpose to get people talking and look at it, but oh, what do I know? We're seeing the typical crawl jaws. It's called Crawl, right? I think. Well, no, I'm thinking about The Shallows. Wasn't there something called Crawl, or it's like a bunch of like alligators or something? That's a whole subject in itself. The Jaws ripoffs that all came out. James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd back in the day, if y'all are old enough to remember that, he did a whole series on shark ripoff movies. It's like a 40-minute video where he just does like a countdown of like 50 of them or something. Hooper screaming here. And yeah, fun fact, those eyes are, that's not Dreyfus. It's I think it's a stuntman for those inserts. But yeah, could have fooled me. I always thought that when I was younger, I thought that was Dreyfus. Until the Shark is Still Working documentary on the DVD enlightened me. Let's see here. I got this shot of him struggling. By the way, anybody that says the shark looks fake, get the hell out of here. That is an amazing animatronic. And again, it's not just talking about film in general. Everybody's always like, oh, practical or CGI. It's like, I don't know. It depends on how you present it. I think it depends on how, as a director, how you film it and you frame it. Because if you got a camera that's like flying around on a drone, whatever, it's like instantly my brain knows it's fake. But if you do like the David Fincher thing and you have a character, who's the focus of the shot, and in the background he's actually replaced, houses and landscapes to fit the time period or whatever. That some of that Fincher has been known to do in like Mindhunter and Zodiac. Like, again, my focus is on the characters. I don't even know I'm looking at an effect shot. Like, that's a great use of CGI. In Jurassic Park, the reason both the animatronics, same with Jaws, Jurassic Park, the reason the animatronics looks so good and are so effective is because of perspective. One of my all-time favorite shots actually is in this sequence. It's this one right here, like just this behind Hooper, the handheld nature, like just like it's oh my god, it's claustrophobic. It feels like there's a giant fish attacking the damn cage. Again, it's not just the quality of the animatronic, it's how you shoot it. Same thing with The Thing. The Thing is shot with like very dim, contrasted lighting, and you can't even make out what you're like seeing. It's wonderful. Oh yeah, you're talking about Cruel Jaws. Yeah, I if the whole movie's on YouTube and it's not being tagged with copyright, maybe we should do a movie night where we watch this piece of shit. Maybe I'll put another poll. We can all watch it together. Have a movie night or something. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, my left-sided deflated breast sounds like a broken heart. Mary Ellen Moffat. Yeah, sharks just look kind of fake to begin with. I agree. When they come at you, and soon to be living. Not too good, is it, Chief? Yeah, Cruel Jaws. Yeah. I think it matters with media used to make art. It's just its actual content. Yeah. No, nowadays, I mean, seriously, whenever I talk to even like in certain gatherings I've been to, or business events, just everyone referring to it as content just tells me all I need to know about the state of things. I make content for a living, and I hate saying that. Because I make content for fun. But at the moment, yeah, I get paid to make a lot of content. That line up? It lines up. Great. Ready? Start that chime line again, will you? This is one of my favorite bits.
Ready? Start that chum line again, will you?
Come on down and chum some of this shit.
Again, if you can recontextualize those lines. Oh, it's all in good fun. Let's move that thing here. We got Hooper turning around. I want this line. Yeah, right there. Man. But see how painstaking this is? So yeah, over the last couple weeks, I've been doing this almost daily, just restoring all these things for all of you to have fun rewatching it in the HD quality it deserved to be in. Because yeah, back in the day, YouTube, oh, you had to compress the shit out of it. Yeah, it was the dark ages. And I've been on YouTube since the very start, like 2006. I'm very aging myself right now. I already said I'm almost 40. Yeah, 2006. Started doing all kinds of videos, and yeah, recuts was actually one of them. I actually had a pretty minor hit back then. So this is actually, it's funny, my first ever viral hit, it went on, okay, if anybody remember, does anybody remember ebombsworld.com? Used to be like the go-to funny site. Every Friday, the front page would have like a collection of, it was basically, it was Reddit before Reddit. And every Friday they would put something on the front page, and I did a fake trailer, a recut trailer, where I took Office Space and I made it into a slasher film, just using titles, music, and just recontextualizing lines and stuff. Or Milton is killing people with a stapler. I made it for fun, and then I submitted it. I think on the forums of E-Bombs World, I was just like, oh yeah, I made this thing, and it got a few, laughs on there. And then later that week, it's on the front page of E-Bombs World, and I was like, what the hell? And back then, this is before YouTube, so I was hosting the video on like a little dinky website, and because I put the URL baked into the video, everybody went to my site, and they basically DDoSed it. They broke the shit out of it, and like all my bandwidth got used up, and my site went down for like weeks, to the point where I had to pay for more bandwidth. But yeah, that minor recut, that was like my first like recut that I ever did. I still to this day cannot get that shit back on YouTube because it always gets taken down for copyright, and it absolutely kills me. That was my first ever hit. Yeah, despite all the pounding, the hollering, the screaming. Oh yeah, I didn't mean the concept of the storytelling depth. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, yeah, I feel like I'm honestly not entirely sure. I have so many theories as to what's going on with entertainment. And I think everyone should watch that Patrick Willems video. It's basically like a murder mystery, like it's called Who Killed Hollywood, I think. It's like an hour and a half. It's like a movie. Maybe it's not that long, but he goes into depth about like all the different factors of like why everything is starting to suck. In my humble opinion, one thing he doesn't touch on is I think digital has absolutely crushed the discipline of the process. Back in the day, you had actual film. You had a finite amount of film to work in, and if you used up a reel and shot too much, you just pissed away money. And that meant when you went to shoot a movie, you had to have that shit locked down. There was no room for dicking around. You had to like have an objective and shoot what you want. So there was a lot of thought that went into like being efficient, structuring things. I think with digital, they just shoot en masse, and you see it with comedies especially. They just let people improvise for like 5 hours, and then the editor cobbles together something, and it's like, here it is. So I feel like in a way digital has absolutely killed a bit of the soul of filmmaking a bit, because it's just so easy. I think it's just so easy for them to shoot without consequence. But that's my personal 2 cents about that. Yeah, but we got too much latitude because of the digital process. But at the same time, man, digital really, in a good way, has revolutionized a lot. At the same time, so I don't entirely disapprove. I just don't like the lack of discipline nowadays.
No.
It's looking good. Now we got the thrashing shot. I think it's this one. Okay, let's. Aha, there it is. Let's see. How come the Matrix Office Space mashup is fine? Yeah, that's a great question, Sparks John. And actually, when I tried re-uploading my Office Space thing, I actually I have it somewhere. I got a cease and desist letter from 20th Century Fox, be like, stop it. And I was like, you're kidding me, right? Yeah, it was. That was back in the day when, I think it was like Viacom and 20th Century Fox were really cracking down on copyright, and even Universal was guilty of that. But I think in the recent years they've now let up on that. That's probably why these current recuts I'm putting up, they're staying up without problem. I think people have laxed on fair use and parody. So it's pretty cool how they keep the continuity. Quint slammed his machete in the boat, the same machete, and it's that's such a great detail. Little detail I feel like it kind of goes a little not unnoticed, but it's hardly ever talked about. It was in this scene here. Quint slams his pump it out, Chief. Because when I was younger, I always wondered, like, why do they focus on that shot? And it's because when he's dying, he makes a desperate grab for that machete, and it's like just off camera, but it's right here. He's looking at the machete right there, and he reaches for it. Crap, I lost it. Yeah, he reaches for it, and it's like right off camera there. He's actually grabbing the machete. Now it's like in the shark, and I only noticed that when I got the DVD for the first time. But yeah, great call out on detail there, Alley Cat. That was a detail I always found fascinating, especially when the movie was not on a VHS cropped to 4:3 frame. You actually get to see more of the action. All right, let's get a couple of these screaming shots in here. Yeah, when he turns around, it's the shot after that. Oh wait, I already got that in there. Yeah.
Stop playing with yourself, Hooper.
It's amazing how sometimes I put these out of context lines into like the lip flap of another shot, and sometimes it actually lines up. Sometimes not so much, but I still think it works. For at least for this shot, which I will restore in a moment. Okay, I gotta get right as that blood comes up. I think that's the shot. No, maybe. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, the reason I did that is because like I wanted it to look a little bit like it was Hooper's blood and not the shark. Oh, those Hooper inserts are so good. Yeah, he's pounding and hollering and screaming. Sometimes he wouldn't go away. The last super scream I have here is when just one of my all-time favorite moments. Hooper inside the jaws of the fish. And one thing I am gonna fix about the shot, because I love what I did with the edit, but there's too much space here. He's supposed to be inside the jaws of the shark, so I'm actually going to punch that in. And just move it over a little bit. And don't worry about the black bars. Actually, I what I do at the end is I actually drop this 2:3:5 aspect ratio on there, so it's seamless. Yeah, that close-up looks great, actually. Okay. Okay, so that was the real footage there of the shark. That Australian couple that shot all the shark footage. Again, terrific editing. Seamlessly blended. It's this shark. God, that's incredible. Now, I only used part of that. I think it's because the way the head was moving really sold it. So I think it starts there. Let's see. I think that's the shot. Ah, that's the one right there. Yep, there it is. Did I reverse that shot to make it look like he's pulling Hooper out with his teeth? Almost forgot to add that shot there. And I'll synchronize that on the jacket. Coming into the shot. Maybe I'll do it when his head comes in. Yeah. His little hair right there. Start that chum line again, will you? Coming down and chum some of this shit.
Ready? Ready? Start that chum line again, will you?
Come on down and chum some of this shit.
It's just giving the lips don't match. Yeah. Kind of adds to the kitschiness of the I guess. Yeah, I try to make it match as best I can. Sometimes it just it can't be helped. Oh, here we go. Okay, so Brody on the. Yeah, I don't even think I didn't use nearly the full shot, but did I start in the head? I think I did. Yeah, I did. You can tell because again, there's that tape line from the edit, the original edit.
Come on down and chum some of this shit.
Stop playing with yourself.
Okay, I gotta get that. All right, gentlemen, snag him. Man, I'm good at just. This is. I'm clicking and I'm just landing on the shot. Like that's.
All right, gentlemen, snag him.
That's real lucky. Perhaps I've seen this movie too many times. All right, right when his finger reaches his shoulder, that'll be the sync point right there. And drop it like it's hot. Let's see.
Stop playing with yourself, Hooper.
That actually really works. Play him full screen.
Playing with yourself, Hooper. Stop playing with yourself, Hooper.
I can't believe how well that lines up with his lips, even though he's saying a completely different line. Man, that was good. Okay, so I know what shot that is. That's the one of the first shots. It's not this one. It's the one where he's chewing. It's funny. I once showed a friend Jaws for the first time, and she loves them. I love animals. I had dogs, cats growing up. Love animals. And she was actually, admittedly, every time the shark got a spear in it, she was like, "Aw," and I was like, "Okay, like real animal lover." It's like, but I get it. In when you think about it, yeah, it's just an animal just doing what it does. It's not even thinking. But when that thing blows up at the end, she cheered, and I was just like, that's the power of this movie. Despite all that. I had a reminder too. I was like, it ate a dog, right? This fish doesn't deserve to live. Okay, so I think I just simply reverse that shot. Let's just see if that lines up. Yep. Now this shot I was never fully sold on using. I think partly because Quint's dressed differently. So I thought about maybe punching in or maybe using a different shot for the restoration. Yeah, Pippet lived in our hearts. Poor Pippet.
Better get a good shot at that pork's head.
Actually, I will say the ending of this Super Bait one, I think a lot of people really enjoy it because Quint and Brody survive and they're laughing together. It actually works as an alternate ending. Which was the intention.
Hurry! Quit!
Okay, where did I start?
Better get a good.
Alright, right when his face kind of comes out there, right there.
Better get a good shot at that pork's head. Hey, oop.
And that's a reverse shot right there, Brody. That's when he's when he goes, they're up again. Actually, I could probably pull. There's a couple of shots from this sequence that I could pull from. All right, the barrels come up. Brody goes, they're up again. I punched in and I reversed it. But I gotta get that shot of. There's Quint fires that harpoon. There it is. There's the shot. Kill shot. Kill shot. It's a kill shot. All right, almost done. We almost got this. All right, this one I have to reverse it. Reverse her.
Hey, Hooper!
Okay, so obviously those are gonna have to be punched in. This is like the next level stuff that I try to do to try to sell what I'm selling here. Gotta get Hooper out of that shot.
Hey, Hooper!
Nope, you can see him right there. Maybe 150. Oh, jeez. Okay, there we go.
Hey, Hooper!
That actually really works. And then I gotta get Hooper out of this shot. Hooper, yeah. I gotta put in a little keyframe here because the shot is moving up and down because of the rocking of the boat. There it is.
Hey, Hooper!
All right, almost done here, folks. Yeah, Brody's triumphant screen. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the joy on Brody's face, and he blows them both up. Greetings from Argentina. Hello from Los Angeles. Francisco Garon. I hope I pronounced that right. Yeah, almost done here. We gotta get the explosion itself. That's another shot that I've used ad nauseum. Just the shark exploding, but it's usually in the context of everybody on the orca dying. Okay, right that white flash. Okay, here's a funny clip. Right after this white flash, you ever see the shark just waiting to be blown up? I always thought of that shot of the shark just looks so goofy. It's only for one frame, but I don't know why. This, like, when I paused it on VHS, it really cracked me up. But as you can see, there was a little air tank. Continuity, guys. The continuity is fantastic. This movie's perfect. What can I say? There it is. I'm pretty sure I just let this play out, other than the cutaways to Quint that I added. Yeah, it's the watch the tail moment. There's that cutaway, and then we got Brody. Yeah. As somebody pointed out years ago, it actually matches the book ending, funny enough. Hooper fucking dies in the cage. Alright, I gotta get that splash shot. And then the laughing shot. Okay, we're almost there. So it comes right after this. Actually, let's reset this. Almost done, folks. Then we can watch it through. Of course, I'll have to go and do the audio, but I won't make you suffer through that. That'll be awful. Okay, let's see if my okay, it cuts to the wide there, and all I did was punch in. Yep. Amazing how that matches the two splashes. It's been how many years? I'm still cracking up over these. I'm serious. I'm glad this has had so much staying power with you guys. It honestly helps that that I'm cracking up while I'm making them too. So, okay, let's get that taxidermy man shot in there. Oh, I put it over here. Nope. Here we go.
When he see what I brought him!
One time I was driving a boat on a lake, and I just belted out that line, and nobody had any idea what I was talking about, and I was like, forget it. There it is. Okay. The only thing we need is the first shot, but I'll deal with it later. Okay. So we just restored it. I was wondering why Quentin tried stabbing the shark in the eye when he was becoming a shark Happy Meal. Hooper's shark useless no matter they use them as bait. Yeah, exactly. Hooper, give the chief a hand, would you? Son of a bitch. All right, let's watch this restoration now that it's up. There we go.
Okay, try to keep him off me until I'm...
Coming!
Jesus H. Christ.
Get down here!
Come on, Chief. This isn't no Boy Scout picnic.
See what I do, Chief, is I haul them up like a lot of catfish, and I jab at them.
Jab at him.
That's freedom. Now it's covered. Slow now.
Slower.
Brody? Stop that chum line again, will you?
Come on down and chum some of this shit.
Stop playing with yourself, Hooper. Better get a good shot at that porker's head. Hey, Hooper!
The ending we all deserved. Oh man. I thought it was just like under 2 hours. Did that whole video restored. Fantastic. Alright y'all, this has been fun. More of you showed up than I was expecting actually. This is great. Again, thank you all for seriously, like just all the warm comments, all the support, and you know, it's great to share a laugh, you know. And what better way to do it than with, you know, I'm assuming our collective, you know, shared favorite movie, Jaws. I'll do something like this again another time. I kind of like the idea of just suffering our way through watching Cruel Jaws. If I can do it without getting copyright striked, that'd be great. So I'll have to research that first. It may be okay though, but something for Hooper by Quinn with the harpoon gun. Actually, so I've already made the thumbnails. That's a great idea. I'll show you the one that I've actually already made. Here it is. So I just have him looking up like that. But yeah, I thought about Quinn with the harpoon gun. Maybe I can mix. Maybe I could do like multiple characters. I mean, the cool thing about YouTube thumbnails is I can always update them. So maybe I could do both. Have him there, and maybe I could even have like Brody with a spear or something. Brody with a spear would be really good too, because I haven't featured Brody a lot in the various thumbnails. Let me see if I can. Yeah, here I'll kind of run through them. So this is the one that just went up, the Orca Maideness Mayhem. I have this one, Brody Can't Save Quint, which I finally restored this one, I think, to its proper, using that deleted scene of Brody, of Roy Scheider getting pissed at the gun not working. I've color corrected it. I've got the audio more balanced out. It actually like works better now. I think before, I think the whole thing was like interlaced. It was a mess. So this one was very satisfying. This whole thing was very satisfying to get the restored version out. So that'll drop next week. That's a good one. Let's see. Yeah, then Quinn crashes the Orca. So this is one that I did. It was inspired by Zool. It's a mashup, so it's audio from Demolition Man. Low key, one of my favorites. It's so stupid, but it works really well. Hooper's drunk and useless. Of course, I gotta have him with the cup of the apricot brandy. Hooper's half-ass autopsy. Gotta put that in there like that. Hooper's boating massacre, of course. Just the psychotic, in the recontextualized psycho look in his eyes is just so good. Nobody cares about Quint, of course. Gotta put it like that. I almost thought about putting Hooper with the with the playing solitaire. Hooper Bade, and then finally Brody's shooting rampage. So yeah, gotta. And of course, the more recent one, Quint is drunk and useless. At some point, I will. Oh, thank you, Flower Fog. Yeah, at some point I'll have to. I can't wait to get started on the newer stuff. Like I said, I still got a bunch of ideas of silly things, but yeah, in the meantime, I get to remaster these and put these out. I agree, Esoteric Veritas. Yeah, the boating massacre is absolutely brutal. Especially, I'm coming around again. But yeah, I got somebody actually made a comment. But they asked me, like, are you the one that did the one where Brody is making faces at his son, but instead of the son, I'm cutting to Captain Quint at the table? Like, yes, that was me. That video was taken down with copyright because of John Williams's, just incredible. That's such a good music cue. The father and son scene. I love that score so much. But because the music was there in its entirety, it got nailed with copyright. So I'm trying to find ways around that. I think they've relaxed a lot of copyright stuff now, so I may be able to actually get that up and running. But I got to put that one back up there. I have that file somewhere. I'm gonna have to restore that, but it's I think after Brody's shooting Rampage, I'll put that one up, and then we'll get like 100% brand new recuts. But I don't want to give too much away. But the newest cut that I'm working on has to do. It's a Quint-centered one, and similar to Nobody Listening to His Speech. This one, again, he's getting no respect. So I'll leave it at that. I don't want to give too much away, but I found another way to work in a Quint getting frustrated sequence. But yeah, I think I've got good ideas. Yeah, replace the audio with Quint Goldie on a drink. It's so initially when I cut that, I just kind of had the sounds of like just the inside of the boat. But I'm telling you, John Williams' like heartfelt score, like that beautiful score with the shots of like, Roy Scheider, going, and then Captain Quint going, like, with the music, it works. So I need to find a way to make the music work. And if I need to, like, I may just have to change the pitch or something just to get around it. We'll see. I'll find a way. But that cut will be restored and put up in HD on the channel. So anyway, yeah. Once again, thank you all. It makes doing this little hobby of mine absolutely worthwhile. As you can see, it's a lot of painstaking work sometimes, but like it's so rewarding. It's so much fun. Yeah, if you want more, please subscribe to my other channel. It's the inverse. It started with this WTM recut. WTM, by the way, stood for What the Maynard. That was my comedy troupe in the pre-YouTube days, and this is all connected through What the Maynard. So the name just stuck. But yeah, WTM recut, and the stuff I'm doing is it's recut WTM. So yeah, please go and subscribe, and yeah, again, you all rock. I can't wait for you to see the rest of the remastered cuts, and be sure to vote in the poll. I'm doing polls. I'm doing it like 4 at a time, and we're gonna March Madness style it down. So I think actually let's go to the poll. I'm trying to end this thing, but I got a couple more things I want to do here. Let's go to the poll. Oh man, Maintenance Mayhem is just crushing it, as I thought I would. I love Nobody Listens to Quint's Tale, but I gotta say, man, the Maintenance Mayhem, it's the one that cracks me up the most. So basically, this is the projected winner. When I put up the new poll, we'll take all. It's gonna be 3 polls, each containing 4. Then we're gonna take those 3, and we'll see who the ultimate winner is. We'll do it March Madness style. Yeah, you all are amazing. Thank you for sticking with me all these years, and even for the newer people, thanks for hanging in there. It's a lot of fun, y'all. So until next time, keep an eye out for next Friday. Scheduled is what is the next one scheduled? I should know that off the top of my head. I think it's the it's Brody Can't Save Quint. Yeah, next Friday, Brody Can't Save Quint. A classic and another brutal one. This is fun, everybody. Thanks so much. Take care. Good night. Good luck. Here's to swimming with bow-legged women.
Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed.
I had a little think about an hour ago, and it's gotten right to my head. Wherever I may roam, by land or sea or foam. Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. I had a little drink about an hour ago, and it got right to my head. Wherever I may roam, on land or sea or foam, you can always hear me singing.
It's out of the engine.
Show me the way to go home. I'm tired